ahead, bro. Oh. Hello, everyone. I'm going to talk about a topic that you may already know, and it's very popular in the US. So the SAT, the Stochastic Assessment Test. Every year, more than 2 million students take the SAT, but only a fraction of them actually achieve the college credit scores. Talking specifically about this fraction, 45% of test takers that actually meet both the advanced reading and writing section and the math section of the test. This benchmark relates to the score, specifically 480 for the evidence-based reading and writing section, and 530 for the math section. So this relates to a 75% probability that a student might get a C grade at a college level course. So basically, half of college students do not perform at the level of college expects. One of the main challenges that students face when preparing for the SAT is that there exists quite a gap between the highest quintile and the lowest quintile among talents. The SAT is supposed to measure college readiness. However, it may also reflect the socioeconomic status of the test taker. According to the 2022 ACT Assessment Group annual report, there is a strong correlation between median family income and ACT scores. The higher the median family income, the higher the average ACT score. The same is true for family education level. So this means that a student from a low income, less educated family may be at a disadvantage when taking the SAT. Our solution is Daibeal. Daibeal is an edtech startup that uses AI to make SAT preparation fun and easy. You only need a laptop or a smartphone, and you can access our platform anywhere, anytime. Whether you have 10 minutes or an hour, you can make the most out of your study time with our effective lessons, and you can track your progress and actually see how close you are to reaching that target score. The process is pretty straightforward. So you set up a profile, take a diagnostic test, and follow your learning path. It's specifically made for you. Daibeal has a huge market potential, not just in the edtech startup sector, but also in the ML sector, since we're using these techniques. Just last year, this type of companies have received about $27.6 billion in funding. And we're looking at a total addressable market of 2 million students. The amount of students that take this exam every year. But this concept can be further generalized to other types of assessments. And we're calculating an estimated 200,000 to 300,000 possible students that actually fit the criteria I'm going to mention. So a typical customer for platforms is going to be around 15 to 18 years old, belongs to a family that earns around or below average income, is knowledgeable or manages social media, is familiar with web tools, and wants to get a higher ACT score. This is a brief description of our main competitors, the traditional brands. So the Princeton Review, Kaplan, and Prep Scholar, they all offer this service starting from around $300 to $400, and I believe we can provide this service for just $19.99 per month for our most basic subscription-based model. So we offer each additional feature all the way up to $39.99 per month for our auto essay scoring system. As you may have realized, our main competitive advantage is lower cost of the competition, but we also provide customization and optimization services based on our data analytics tool and our chat feature powered by AI. It's a simple estimate of earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization. So the main differences between these scenarios is the amount of customers we'll be able to fulfill the demand. So 300,000 for the first one, 200,000 for the second one, 100,000 for the pessimistic scenario. All other variables remain constant. we're talking about the price per token as a variable cost, so 0.002 US dollars per 1,000 tokens. That's for the GPT 3.5 turbo model, and we're talking about 100 to 150,000 fixed cost and a customer acquisition cost of $20 per customer. And also, we're assuming that the average subscription price is going to be $25 for around 3 months. There's been a huge debate around intellectual property and AI. So the United States Patent and Trademark Office has released a report on how can they adapt the legislation to adapt to this new trend. And I believe that the current legislation is not as dynamic as they think, and it might be changed in the future. So one possible solution to that is to not focus on actually protecting the AI model itself, but the solution as a whole. I have a very simple example. I know if you ever order Domino's pizzas and you've seen like this pattern symbol of the process they offer when you can just track your pizza from the oven to the moment you pay. So basically, I think it's better to move the protection to the whole business as a system. So we can patent our learning management systems instead of AI, since we actually do not own it and we're just using the APIs that we've been provided. One possible solution or application to that might be modeling the process in an engine such as Camunda and Java, or using control systems for rule-based management, and put that on top of that of the AI engine, so we can actually manage this system and not let it free us. So that's a bit of a background. My name is Darren, and I'm pursuing a double major in computer engineering and business management in Spain. I've had the opportunity to study at different academic institutions. Last year I studied at KDH in Stockholm, where I did my major in information systems. And this year I'm studying at USD, where as part of the Magnet Exchange program, and I'm doing business management here. And my professional background is quite mixed. I started in financial services, then I moved to software development. I did back-end development for about a year and a half. Then I moved to data engineer. So my last position was junior data engineer for small fintech in Spain. This list of references to the stats that I've used throughout the presentation, and a little bit of my contact information. I know you might have a lot of questions. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. So I'll be glad to answer any questions or clarify any doubt you may have about the product itself or the technical aspect of it. Thank you for your time.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, right now we're at the seed stage. So when I was at KDH, they have like this big entrepreneurial spirit. So I didn't put that part of the team because we're not as closely related right now, but we still have contact. One friend is a German engineer and others from India, and we're still in the seed stage. So our plan is to provide an MVP product at least at the end of the year. So that's our main goal, because connecting the API is quite easy, but putting it all together is the hard part. And I haven't done web development for a while, but I still believe that a small team might be better at the start, because software developers' salaries are quite high. So I think we might just push the date to the end of the year and just do it ourselves, so 3 of us.
One other question I had just in the feasibility of the plan is just, so you're undercutting the competition based on some of the competitors that you had, so that's a low cost position. So is there any difference between getting a low cost position and quality in comparison to the competitors? How will you deliver the services so much more affordably in the marketplace? Yeah,
that will apply mainly for average income students. So we're giving this alternative to students that may not have any preparation at all. So if you go to Khan Academy and you just start this test, they are not fit to your strengths. They are very generic tests.
Okay.
So I believe that if we wanted to actually compete with that type of, let's say, the Princeton Review and these other traditional brands, we may have another additional service. So not incorporating a real tutor in the platform, but as I mentioned, adding these additional features that may review your essay automatically, and this provides like added value. So you can actually approximate the level of quality they offer with real humans. That's quite costly. So you may see the highest price was $2,000 for a subscription of 6 months. Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect. Any other questions?
I have a question. So as an admissions counselor, like I review applications, we do look at SAT, ACT. How will you kind of cope or pivot with schools that are like moving away from SAT requirements? A lot of schools are like kind of dropping that, so students have begun to not take it as much. So how will you pivot if, say, in 5 years, a lot of universities aren't starting to like need or require SAT?
Yeah, there's a lot of changes right now. So I think there's a new digital SAT coming in next years. So I think we could pivot to other types of assessments, mainly, for example, the TOEFL. That's very popular for me as an international student.
Right.
I had to take it. It's hard. English is not your native language. You have to take this type of test. So this tool can be further generalized to TOEFL, maybe also professional certifications. I wouldn't say CPA or such, but maybe other certifications that are not as regulated as that one.
Great. Thank you.
Why the name for the business? What's the thought behind that, or what is?
Yeah, those are my initials actually.
Oh,
So there, yeah. So Daibeal Benitez Altas. Yeah.
what's your go-to-market strategy as far as getting the name out there, marketing? Do you have a certain amount of your budget that's going to be deployed into advertising and marketing? What channels or mediums are you going to use to get the name out there against the well-established competition?
Yeah, that's pretty weird at the moment. So I don't know if you've seen this tool, ChatGPT. So they got million users very fast, low advertising. So these AI tools, just by word of mouth, they go around real fast. So if people start talking about it and they know that it's a good tool, we can just take advantage of that to ride this AI wave and try to get in as many customers as we can.
Since you're focusing on helping like lower end social economic situations, have you found funding or assistance to help with the development side, or found any avenues to help generate some of those seed funding that you're looking for at the beginning parts?
Yeah, especially in Europe, we have a lot of these social programs. So if we actually target this type of segment, we get some funding to provide our service. But I think that's very important for the initial stage, so you have a lot of investment going on. But then when you move into more of a maturity stage or a growth stage, we just have to focus and try to keep our costs down. But that's very good because technology in general, not just AI, is deflationary. So the cost goes down as it evolves. So that's a good strategy. Not all industries have that. So that's a good thing of doing tech, that the cost goes down, so I don't have to worry about it. So we're doing GPT 3.5 because it's way cheaper. So as I said, 0.002 dollars per 1,000 tokens. If we use GPT 4, I think it's 8 cents per 1,000 tokens. And even related to the context window, we can use the smaller one. There's new techniques right now to use a smaller context window, and so we can pay less for these APIs. So there's no need to pay for the most expensive engine. And then if we have this higher cost, let's say OpenAI tries to rise their prices, we can just try to use one of these open sources models and do our own AI engine, make our own AI engine, so we can provide the service in-house or use our own infrastructure. When I talk about infrastructure, we don't have any premises, it's all done on AWS. So we use the cloud. It's cheaper in the long run, let's say.
Social economic category, are you planning on expanding the market to target larger, because a lot of people have to take this test, the entire market. So do you plan to start there, kind of test this and then expand, or tell me a little bit about the expansion plans overall, given some of the financial scenarios you said of really ambitious and more realistic?
Let's see, go for the realistic scenario. We have 200,000 students.
Okay.
I think our main approach would not be to get more students in the SAT, but move away to other types of assessments. So generalizing this tool, try to get other types of tests. As I mentioned, TOEFL, there's a huge market for that outside of the US. Test preparation is quite costly outside of the US. It's also costly here, but as you have this competition, the cost goes down. But as you've seen, the starting price is around $400. So I think a subscription-based model might be cheaper in the long run. suppose that a student uses our service for 3 months or 6 months max. I mean, when I prepared for my university exams in Spain, I did it for 3 months. I don't know the average time that the students take for preparing for the ACT, some more, some less. Depends on the students as well. So we're taking a 3-month average.
So you said you think it's 3 months that a person would utilize your service?
For realistic, because some people might not like it and they drop at the first month, some might just go for 6 months or a year, so let's do a 3-month realistic scenario, so we can just keep our finances good. If I say every student will just stay with us for a year, I'll be like, because even in other platforms that are not related to SAT or assessment in general, let's say Czech or other companies, most students just pay subscription for a short amount of time.
But your prediction is that, is it 12 months that you're targeting? You think that to do the self-paced program, you're anticipating 12 months or 6 months? What is
I'd
that?
say the ideal would be between 6 months to 10 months.
6 to 10.
So we can even offer a different package if you subscribe to our service for 10 months, we can do a better price. So that way we can capture our customer for longer. That's very popular in this type of industries.
So since your marketing plan is very organic, do you have any plan to say, okay, if you get someone in the system and they do like it, do they help you to market so that you can keep costs low? Have you considered any way to utilize people utilizing your platform to try to expand that name and that recognition overall?
Yeah, usually you have these referral programs, so that's very popular. Use a referral program so you can, especially students, they like that. I don't know why. So they feel very intrigued by this type of program. So if we implement a referral program, I think that might help us grow organically without spending too much money. Because Google Ads and Facebook ads might be costly if we try to target the whole US. So, yeah. I don't know if you want to know more about the technical part of the business or the business related part.
If you'd like to elaborate.
Yeah, so the architecture is going to be on cloud, as I mentioned. So one way to explain it in simpler words might be, I don't play video games, but my brother does. He plays Minecraft. So if you go in these open worlds, you see like the sea and the mountains, and it's all generated procedurally. So as you go on, it gets created. I think a platform might be something like that. So you have this AI engine, but you also have these rules running on top of it that actually manage where you're going. So you're not going in circles and not learning anything. That's not the option. So, for example, now we have OpenAI Microsoft owns OpenAI, so they're using this engine in Bing search. But lots of people are using it for searching stuff. So they're using it as an alternative to ChatGPT or to other products. So they're making a mistake by enabling this feature and not controlling the actual results of the way they're following the search engine. Do you have any questions or any doubts? Crowd? Oh, perfect. Yes.
No, sorry, there's 1 minute remaining. I'm sorry.
It's alright. It's good. Can I answer it? All my questions?
I think most of my questions have been asked and answered already, but I just add on to some of the go-to-market questions and scaling questions. Have you given any thought to scaling up beyond the SAT and ACT and into like grad school testing, like the GMAT or the GRE, stuff like that?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I was also thinking about professional certifications, but it depends on the regulation. So if we can actually enter the market, I think that'll be a better option. So we have this cap at the SAT. We cannot fully cover all the spectrum of students because students from higher earning families might not be as tempted by this option. So we think about widening up our options to other tests. So yeah, that can be also a solution.
How about any scholarship programs for targeting those lower economic, social
Yep.
groups?
One solution might be running ads. See, I don't like the freemium model. That's very popular in Europe as well, but that can be a solution. So if you cannot afford to pay the $19.99, you can just run a premium model. You get it for free, like you just run ads on it. As long as it doesn't interfere with the results or with the learning path. So, I think time's up. So, thank you for your time.